You know, it takes a lot for a movie to literally get an emotional reaction out of me. But this one definitely hit different. So I finished listening to the Song of Achilles audiobook while I was at work, and I can honestly say this definitely hit harder than it should have. For those of you that are unfamiliar with it or haven't read it, it's basically Madeline Miller's retelling of the Iliad. But instead of the story being told from Achilles' point of view, it's instead being told from the point of view of Patroclus. And the book details everything from Patroclus' exile from his own kingdom to him living with Achilles, how their relationship grew over time, all leading up to the Trojan War. And one thing I love about the story in general is that it pretty much gives Patroclus a more important role in the story. Yeah, sure, he still dies like he does in the Iliad, and that pretty much forces Achilles to hunt down Hector and get his revenge, but it gives the relationship between him and Achilles more depth and more meaning. And one thing that the book does that I enjoy Greek mythology retellings doing is that it gives more information about the characters to where they seem more human. Like, we all know that Achilles is supposed to be known as the greatest of all the Greeks, but what about the man behind that legend? Who is Achilles really? And not only do you get that answer through the eyes of somebody who was closest to him more than anybody and who loves him dearly, but you get to see over time of how his pride and his stubbornness has cost him everything that he holds dear. And plus, seeing the differences between these characters, like Patroclus' wisdom and lack of strength, and Achilles' great strength and lack of awareness, and seeing them so compatible with one another, it just makes every scene with them all the more precious, you know what I'm saying? And that's a word I never really use for anything. Like, that's how hard this hit me. And I don't know how many of you have read the Iliad or if you are familiar with the story, but yeah, once you get to the end of the book, yeah, it's definitely gonna hit you a lot harder. Which is why I used the character design for these two from Hades, because it makes all the more sense, and also it made me feel a lot better when I reunited them. But yeah, if you're looking for something to sit down and read and also get into Greek mythology with, while also having some endearing characters to where they pretty much like tug at your heartstrings, then yeah, I would suggest Song of Achilles. Be forewarned, you're going to need tissues by the end of this book. And with that in mind, I had to give it a 5 out of 5 for me.